It's absolutely true. We love Dazzles, and we're always playing with new designs. But now we're going to look at some specialty Dazzles.
And we're going to look at stitched, stacked, and double stick Dazzles. And you're going to love what we do with them.
Come play with us. As you said, we're going to do with stitched, double stick, and stacked, and these are just kind of representative.
Right.
So we're going to start with the stitched to begin with. And I do want to tell you is that not all the cards that we're going to show you are going to be in the gallery, so just wanted you to know that because there's going to be a lot of cards.
Right.
Now this is the stitched, if you stitched it.
Okay.
And they are clear material, and they have dots on them. So the dots show you where you end your stitches.
Right.
And you just use embroidery floss or, you know, whatever you want. On the back of the packaging, it shows you how to do the stitching, and it's really, 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 really easy.
Okay.
Okay, it's just, you know, one stitch. No big deal.
One stitch, no big deal. And I can see that it was backed first on paper and then it was stitched.
Exactly.
And that's a good way to hide the stitching behind that back paper.
Right, because that material is clear. So, or you could have just put it on your paper and then stitched it.
That's a really sweet look.
Yeah,
so that's one way to use
that's one way.
stitched Dazzle.
And I thought I'd just show you a couple of other versions just to not get scared of the stitching.
So we have flowers,
stitched, flowers and blossoms for some reason. But again, as we get in close, just want you to see that gold edge. And that gold edge is consistent through all the types of packages. And there's even ones like this that are birthday. So you can see not a ton of stitching, just really easy things.
But this was done with the gold embroidery
gold thread.
I really like that. So
Yes.
this one has big cupcakes on it, and gifts, and so
big areas. Yeah. Now, what else can you do?
Okay.
Well, that Susan girl has been busy, and she has taken, now let me see, this is the medallion, and so you can see large images, kind of doily-like, if you will, and she has placed it on the heat-resistant acetate and then colored on the back like that with Spectrum Noir pens.
With Spectrum Noir pens. I want to mention that while I realize that we're not doing any heating of this acetate, it's still nice to use the heat-resistant acetate because it's a little thicker than the other acetates that we sell, and it's just a really nice card cover. So I can see that that's why she used it.
And look at how her positioning is. So we've got the one great big medallion on the front, and then she's got another one on the inside and then she's got one of the petaloo flowers.
Right, so the one on the front is actually sort of hiding the one behind it.
It's doing it with this. It's also doing it with the thinking of you, and then on the inside, just because.
Right, and here's something I like, and this is sort of a Susan touch. She likes everything to be really finished. So she matted this paper on the front, and when you look at the back of this acetate, she put a strip on the back as well.
Of course she did.
So that you can hide the zots or whatever she had to use.
So it's pretty.
On there. Yeah, so that's a nice touch.
And even the little, you know, there's always extra things on the Dazzles. So the little corners she's done, and she's also colored behind them too.
Right, so that's a really simple process, coloring in on the acetate. And I've got a piece of acetate here, and I've got the Dazzles that she used for the medallion on the front. She used this outer frame, which you can see here, and then she actually chose a different medallion for the center, so there's a little bit of an area between those two that you can see. There you go. Right. So this is a full one, and then this is a separate one on the outside. So I get that, I turn it over, and it's kind of neat because it's silver on the back side. But the nice thing about that is that when you're coloring those Dazzles on the back side, it's not rough, it's smooth, it's just really easy, and you don't have to worry about coloring over the Dazzle if you don't want to, depending on where you're coloring. Spectrum Noir pens come in sets like this. So you'll get a full set that will have 6 of these pens, and Susan used the purple set. She also kept a blender pen handy in case she made mistakes. So she said if she
mistakes?
Yeah, not Susan, but for anyone else like me.
Or me.
If you go past the edge of the Dazzle, then you've got the blender pen to just pick that up and take it off.
Nice tip.
Right, so you just open up your little pen.
And I bet you're going to use the bullet end rather than the chisel.
For detail, and I'm not quite sure where she did it on here, so I'm just going to sort of do it where I like. I'm putting it on the hearts because I kind of like that it'll make the heart stand out. And so you can check the gallery and her instructions and the photos to see.
And she did the outline of the hearts rather than the center, but that's great.
Okay.
That's great.
So you can outline it or you can fill it in, and then you can go in with a lighter color and do some other detailing. And I'm going to go around those. So I did like just the opposite.
Okay.
Just the opposite of what Susan did here, I guess. And so a lighter color around there. And it's a little bit hard to see underneath. I'm on gray here, so you can't see that lighter color as much. But you just go around, take your time, and go around the edges there, and that's super simple to do. You can see it doesn't really take that long. Now, you'll notice that you see that purple on the silver part. You can sort of see it like it goes over, but when you turn it over, it's hidden because of that gold edging on this side.
Covers our mistakes.
Right.
Now, if you wanted the silver, you could reverse this, and you could color on the
you can actually color the dazzle as well. I mean, so if you wanted silver to show on the front, then color the dazzle on this side, and just go ahead and right on top of the dazzle. That works too. And then on this side, you'd have that nice silver
your
edging
tidy
right
heart.
there. Yeah. So.
Now, just one other comment is that Susan has the backing, and this is a 5 by 6.5 inch card, and then she took the acetate, scored it, and glued it to the back of the card.
Glued it to the back, and then or ultra tape, which is a great way to attach something strong like that.
So it's just a really pretty different look. Now, let me show you something else. Here are some Easter eggs. Here they are stitched, just so you can see that. Again, that gold edge. But then they've also been put on more of the acetate.
So individually, the dazzles were placed one at a time, not the way you see here, because they are separate and they were cut out. They were placed on acetate, they were cut out, and they were colored on the back with Spectrum Noir, same way. And these are the sets that were used. There was a turquoise and I think a red and a gray set. I think there was a red one as well.
Oh, okay.
I see red in there.
But it just gives you the ability to have that gold in some larger areas than our typical dazzles, but then also you can use those dots. You don't have to stitch them. They can just become a decorative element.
I love that you can see through the acetate too. You can see the papers through there. It's just a really neat look.
Do you want to see some others that were stitched?
Please.
Because I pulled them.
Yeah, we're going to look at them. So you're not going to find, like we say, all of these on the gallery. The ones that I'm doing demos on, for sure, you'll see those on the gallery.
So Christmas ornaments, we have hearts. Now you're going to see the heart done. There it is stitched. And I love doing hearts like this. I think this is absolutely wonderful. So you've got this trail of hearts, and then you stack them, the largest at the bottom, and it just is such a nice look.
It looks like a wall hanging or an ornament, a glass blown ornament. Beautiful.
So there it is stitched. Now, if you want to, you can place it over another heart, maybe a double stick heart, which will be coming up, glitter that, and then put our stitched heart on top.
That is a really neat idea.
Isn't that a neat idea?
I like that one.
Well,
and you'll see those double stick dazzles with the glitter. We'll show you that in a moment. So imagine that, and then just place that on top.
But to put them one on top of the other is just a fun idea.
Sure.
And again, how that gold filigree really shows up. So that's our little jaunt down stitch. There's also birds and leaves and gingerbread and Christmas and all kinds of things in the stitch. So didn't want you to miss out on that.
Lots of choices in the stitch dazzles, and you can get on Paper Wishes and check them out.
Now we're going to go into the double stick. See, because we have that segue. Did you notice that?
We talked about those double stick heart dazzles. They're very hard to see here, but you're going to see them right there.
Look at this. This is one of my favorite cards. This is using the chalkboard paper, blah, blah, blah. And you can see that the dazzles are glittered.
They are glittered, and they're glittered on the top because they're double stick. They stick on the back, they stick on the top, and I'm going to show you how we did that. And a kind of a neat little trick that Lene talked to me about and how she did this. So here are the double stick Dazzles, and you're going to start with this covering. There's one cover sheet that covers the whole thing, so if you go and try to just remove one of these, that won't come off. Well, that's because you have to remove this entire cover.
You really need to pay attention to that, because I have sat with a group of 167 ladies, and we started using the double stick, and everyone did this. Hey, it's broken. What's wrong?
What's up with that? These are defective.
Peel it back, but don't remove it. Just peel it back because you want it to come back on.
Well, I agree with that, except that this great trick that Lene told me, and so I have to remove the whole thing.
You didn't tell me the trick.
I'm sorry, I didn't. That's my fault. Here I'm going to remove it.
You are.
But you'll have to place it on afterwards, because I'm going to set it down here, and I'm going to use that cover to set one of these Dazzles on. Now I can peel off one of these Dazzles. Right. And it does kind of want to pick up the paper underneath, so you have to get your finger just under the Dazzle.
It's very thin.
There. Yeah. There it is. So there's that Dazzle, double stick, both sides. And she used that just to set down, to have some places to stick it where you can still pull it up easy and keep working on it.
You could also use the packaging that comes with it.
Oh, okay, that's another good idea.
Because this is plastic, so you could use that too.
Plastic as well. So I've got that sitting there. I want to, let's see, you can be able to see it there. You'll be able to see it. Here,
clear on white. Let's do this again.
Here is glitter, and that comes from...
And there is a whole assortment of glitters. So
this is I think this is the everyday glitter pack.
I think you're right. Yeah, it does.
Wild glitter.
Yeah.
And it's fine glitter. It's very fine glitter, so it's easy to use. There are a couple of different openings. There we go. And I'm just going to sprinkle it on there. And then after I sprinkle it on, I would just burnish it on with my finger to make sure that it's going to stick all over. That's really easy to do.
Yeah.
This is something that we do with micro glitter a lot here too. We use that on just about everything. And there we go. So you've got a glittered heart, and once you shake off that glitter, and it's nice and staticky on there, and if you want, you can put another layer and do another burnishing, and then you'll just be able to pick that up, and you're ready to stick it onto your card.
And you only need to do one side. And then when you lay it down,
stick it down.
See, that's interesting, because as you noticed, when it was here, it didn't look like it was a solid red, but when you place it down, it is.
It does, right. I was thinking, maybe I need to go over with another layer, but it did just
I heard
fine.
You thinking that, yes.
Yeah.
So what has been done here is the red, the white, and the silver. And I love the fact that they are just overlapping ever so delicately. I just think it is an absolutely stunning look.
Yeah, it's a little bit ghosting, like you can see through it just a little bit.
Just works really, really well. Now there are butterflies, and yeah, I know that's hard to see.
We can see the top though.
And here's that card. So what you can do, now the heart is a solid piece, but what you can do with the butterfly is it's got individual areas on the inside that you can do separately.
One piece at a time, right. So for instance, even the hearts, if you wanted to do the outer one, then you can peel off that one at a time, do that centerpiece, then pull out the outer piece, do this next piece, And
there are little ones, as you can see here, but you can mix your colors. So what you can do is, I would put the biggest one down first, and so place it down, then color it. Then you can place the other ones, color all of those, because the first one will not pick up more color. So you can do it all on one sheet. You don't have to do it on a separate. So that works. Now another thing, this is leaves. Now we're going to show you something else with leaves. But here are the leaves with two colors.
Just beautiful. And you just do it on one side and the other, or
the tips.
Right down the center.
Or I could turn this right side up so you can read hello. Is that better?
That's like a whole new card.
And this has got the stitch Dazzles right on top, just as an extra element.
And these little swirls go with it. Beautiful.
They are part of it. Now here's another example of the double stick that's been decorated with two colors of the glitter.
The glitter.
And then the stitch dazzle on top.
Just placed on top of it. I just got another idea for this one, if you
What?
don't mind. So I would take the double stick dazzle, put it on acetate, and then just zot it down in the middle so I can bend up the wings.
Yeah, that would be a really good idea.
That would be neat.
And what I think is kind of counterintuitive is that the top butterfly does not match the shape of the one down below.
Right.
And yet, doesn't that look great?
It works. It really does. That's beautiful.
You want to see something else?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
We have cupcakes.
Okay.
And cupcakes
Wait a
were...
minute. There's nothing. I can't get that.
I know, that doesn't work, does it? But cupcakes, what we're going to do is mix the glitter with chalk. Now, that's going to be an important a difference, and you're going to show us that?
And I am going to show you that. I have here a piece of white cardstock, and there is the double stick dazzle that I've already laid down on the cardstock. So the sticky side down and the sticky side up. It's still tacky. And I have a set of basic chalks here. It comes in a nice container like this. All the different chalks, and you have this thing that I can never remember the name of it.
Alligator clip.
Alligator clip here. And you just grab one of these little pink ones, and we're gonna get the top of that cupcake and make it pink just with chalk. It's sticky, and it takes that chalk, and you know if you put chalk on something sticky, it takes the tackiness away.
Right, and
So
it's just that easy. Look how that just blends.
Coloring around. If I'd used a bigger one, that might have even gone a little faster.
Now, one thing I want to tell you, Lene did this card, and somehow we got our wires crossed, and she thought that we meant chalk inks to put on it.
Right.
By Clear Snap. And no, these are chalks. If you try the chalk inks, that will not...
I can show you.
You have it?
I do have
Okay.
it. So that was the process.
Yes,
with
that's the
with
process,
chalk.
just the chalks.
So, and then the glitter goes on the bottom
Right.
there. Very simple to do. And that's not tacky anymore. I can touch it. It's not sticking. It's just
Right.
fine. This, isn't that cute? Isn't it
It is
adorable?
pretty.
It's very pretty. And that's done with fluid chalk ink. And
But
it sticks.
It's going to stay sticky.
It's going to stay
So
sticky, and you don't want that.
those chalk inks are great for other things, but this is just chalk.
Wait
just
a minute.
regular
Wait a minute.
chalk.
Okay,
What?
so use the fluid chalk ink, and then you take one of those
the perfect
pouches
pouch?
and go over it, and then
Very good.
or baby powder, and then it will still look cool. Okay, I'm gonna try that.
Try that, yeah. Make sure it doesn't change the color.
Okay.
So what she's done here is glitter on the black, chalk here, and then she did the double stick, because that's what we're talking about,
Right.
with the glitter on top. And so let's back up a little bit so we can see the shutter card as it opens. And you can see, and she even did one in there, which I think
Isn't
is
that
really
beautiful?
fun.
I love all of the cupcakes on there, so that's great. I also love this great label. So this
Yes.
was done on the honeysuckle paper pack.
And this is the free download. So at paperwishes.com, you can go to Honeysuckle and you'll see the download.
This is one of my favorites. It has some.
Do you
really
like that?
I love the beautiful bee artwork. I just love that.
Now the download is down below the description, so just keep scrolling down and you'll see it. But you
Right.
just click on it and
So
you
the
can print it.
honeysuckle papers and the free download.
Right.
And there you go.
And best wishes for a very tasty birthday. Isn't that fun?
That is fun.
So that's with chalks. Now you can also continue to mix them. These are stars. So this was using flocking, which isn't as quite as available anymore. But I think if you did it with the chalk, then you've got the glitter. It just makes a really nice combination.
So the red is the flocking. Is that what
Yeah.
you're? Okay. So the red is the flocking, and then you've got that glitter.
And here's another look with the double stick flowers. Again, the mix of the chalk, which is dull, against the glitter, which is bright, which is a really nice thing.
That's really cute.
Now, I said that we were going to do something different with the,
With the double stick leaves dazzles.
Now, at Girlfriend's Getaway, I know you may not have been there, but this is a project that we did, and I really wanted to show it to you because I absolutely love the metal leaf sheets.
Oh, they're so fun to play
Yes.
with, and they're just beautiful. It's just gilded.
And what we can do is, I'm going to take this piece of darkroom paper. So this is on the side step card.
Right.
What's nice, and you've seen it as Gail's been demonstrating, is that you can take the double stick Dazzle and just place it on your paper and do the glitter.
Paper. You go ahead and do the metal leaf or whatever you're going to do, and then that's ready to put onto your project.
Right. Now what I need are the leaves.
So we're going to put it on this big piece of paper just so you can see what it looks like, but it is a really beautiful effect.
And it will be nice when I can find the Dazzles.
Okay.
They're missing.
Oh,
do you have them?
Well, they were here.
Okay.
I didn't know that's what you were looking for.
So I'm going to open up the package, and I'm going to take one of the leaves. And again, you want to bring back the plastic. So just pull it back. Remember, that's important to remember.
And you only have to pull it back as far as that one Dazzle that you're getting.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what we did. So I'm going to pull off this one. And like you said, you just can pull it off. Maybe if I put my glasses on, this would help. Okay. Thank you.
For you, so
Thank you. Yeah, have Gail come over, hold the corner for you.
Hey, I'm here to help.
Okay, so
right.
I've lifted that off. You can move that back if you will. And I'm just going to position it right here. And what we did at the workshop was simply to place it down. Well, first we covered our card with the paper, and then we positioned these. So I'm just going to position this one down.
We're just showing this just for demonstration purposes. And so I'm going to do this so that you can see. So there it is on the paper right there. So double stick, so that one side is stuck down. It's still sticky, it's still tacky on the top.
And
I'm going to show you.
Okay, thank you.
This is what metal leaf looks like. This one happens to be copper. You're about to use gold. It comes copper, gold,
silver. And each of these has 25 sheets per package.
Right. It also comes in variegated colors, which this doesn't show, which are absolutely gorgeous.
Now those are fewer sheets per package. Yeah.
This one comes with 25.
So there's my leaf. I'm going to take my metal leaf, and I'm simply going to place it on. Now, as we have told you, these are super light. See, it just flutters.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to do this if you have a cough, or if it's summertime and you've got the fans blowing.
Right.
So I'm just going to put that down, and then I'm going to pull away the excess. Now, don't throw this away. Put it into something. I'm just going to put it into a baggie.
Even if it becomes tiny little pieces, it still sticks on stuff and creates this beautiful gold
Exactly.
effect.
Then I'm going to take, this is just this is just a cosmetic sponge, and I'm going to start rubbing. And now that kind of gives me the shape, but it's a little blotchy. Well, that's because I haven't rubbed enough. Actually, there's nothing in there. Yeah, there's
on the edge.
Oh, what, did it not get it?
That's all right.
But that was good. Okay, so you saw an area I didn't press down, and so just bring in one more.
On it.
Yeah, and you might, I mean, you really can use all those bits and pieces. It will look as solid as this is looking. So I've got a few little crumbs.
Still, I mean, it's there already.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous.
And there we've got it. So that's just as difficult as it is. And the look, I think, is dramatic.
It is, definitely. That's just beautiful. And it's done, the words were added. It wasn't done on those words, but it was done on the swirl, done on all of this other. And
an interesting thing about the swirl, we put the ribbon down first, put the swirl, and then did the metal leaf.
And
it worked just fine.
It
worked just fine.
On that little bump of ribbon.
Yes.
So what a beautiful look. So there, a completely different way of using double stick Dazzles.
So that is double stick, and we have another look since we're into the metal leaf. Yes, this is a Dazzles. Now, this is not double stick Dazzles, so if we're going to do metal leaf, in this case it is the copper, we have to do it with different materials.
Right.
Okay, and you're going to show that?
I am going to show that. So you have a butterfly. I have something different, but I do have the double stick paper. These double stick sheets. They come in a pretty large sheet.
Right, it's about a 9 by 12,
something like
something.
that. And it has this paper on both sides. So
The thing about this is that it is not too sticky and not too weak. It's kind of Goldilocks. It's just right. And that's important in doing many things. The micro glitter is one, but also doing it with this.
Yeah, it works great for the micro glitter. And this, okay, so as I'm pulling away one sheet, the tackiness is still there. It's that piece is in between these two papers. So at this point, I would remove this and I would place a dazzle right there, which I already did. And so I have one, so I'm going to show you this.
Magically?
This is, I already placed it onto that, so that stickiness is there, and I left, it's the opposite side, but I left the paper on the back. So then I was able to cut this out, and when I'm all done doing what I want to do to this, I can remove this and stick it, or I can do it right now.
Well, why don't you just,
why
don't you just leave it?
Oh,
you want to stick it down?
I'm not going to, but I just wanted to show that you can then remove that paper from the back and then stick it wherever you want. But for the moment, I'll just leave it there. And there's these great little camera dazzles, which I love. And then I have some of the copper leaf here. And I'm going to take just what I need from there. It has these wax papers that are in between them to keep them nice and flat. And I'm just going to remove part of it and lay that down on top of that dazzle. Now, I'm going to show you a different way to do this because Susan came up with another way of doing this as well. She wanted to make sure all of that was in all of the little tiny spaces of that butterfly. So first I'm going to press it on with my finger, that camera, well, the butterfly that she did. So I'll remove it from the edges. We'll save that for later. And then she used a stipple or a stencil brush to kind of carefully pop that down and make sure that it got, and you can, when I did that, you can see it sort of getting down into those tiny little places.
Again, because it's so thin, it's really going to get down in there.
So there it is, then popping it down, and then I'm going to start moving in little circles and removing it from the top of that dazzle.
Right.
So this is not a double stick dazzle. I've got the double stick behind it. And I'm going to sort of scoot it off by using the side a little bit, but you can see it just comes right off the dazzle. So then you've got this copper-backed, beautiful dazzle.
Right, and easy to do.
Easy to do, and I can still pull off that back and stick it, or foam tape it just like that wherever I want it to go.
Oh, you're right, yes. So you can do butterflies, you can do any of the dazzles using the areas to do the metal leaf, any kind of metal leaf.
With the double stick adhesive.
So we've done stitched, we've done double stick, now we have stacked. All of these S's. Now stacked dazzles, here's some, these are called flourishes, and they're designed with multiple styles. Let's see, how do I say this? So you're going to have a large image, then you're going to have the smaller ones. It's kind of like paper towel dazzles.
So it's a repeating of the images, just a little bit, just a little
section of the images, right. So now let me show you. So they are usually backed and on paper, cut next to the dazzle edge and put together with foam tape, and so you get a beautiful look like this.
That is beautiful. I love that you can back it on these different colors, and then the pieces that you stack on different colors, so you can really see them pop up.
So this is a standard way. I just want to show you another one. This is a diamond, and so made into a Christmas card, and
these
a little extra left for envelope.
And these are the ones that are not on the gallery. Remember, we're not doing a demo. So you won't see this in the gallery.
So just wanted you to get an idea of what these are called, aqua lily, and this is what they look like when they're put together. And the beauty of these is that you get that 3D look, but also that they can become like, this is a birthday, this is a thank you. They're kind of universal images. Okay, now we're going to go into what is new. Well, here is what was done, and again, we're using the acetate. Debbie did this different kind of card. You can see the butterflies, and as I lift this up, then we go inside. But
this is great. This is like a stair-step accordion at the bottom of the card, so that you can actually stand up the card and place that acetate on there. It's just beautiful. And I love that what she backed those dazzles with Or shimmer sheets.
Were shimmer sheets. Now, when these Dazzles were first developed, shimmer sheets weren't around. So this is the sampler pack, and so there are, I can't remember.
I can't remember how many pieces are in there.
A whole bunch.
I think there's 8, a 10-pack. There we go.
10-pack,
It's
yeah.
a 10-pack, and this, I think, is the gemstone
Right.
shimmer sheets. There are lots of different colors, and they're just perfect. That's what you're seeing.
Perfect.
You're seeing the different colors in those backed Dazzles here. Each one of those is a different shimmer sheet.
And the shimmer sheet is giving you that extra shine and that extra kind of mottled look that's just beautiful with the variety of colors.
Right.
Just gorgeous.
Beautiful.
And you can also, so they're called stacked, but you don't have to stack them. You can just use those and get multiple images and, you know.
And you can back those Dazzles on different kinds
Right.
of paper. So this is one Dazzle, and the center was backed on yellow, and then the entire rest of the Dazzle was backed on red. So you get that double color effect there.
So you also could, as all of these techniques that we're giving you, you could do this with metal leaf.
Right.
You could do it with chalks behind it.
Right.
So
you could do it with more shimmer sheets.
yes, you could. So lots of
Specialty
variety.
papers like ripple or holographic papers. Beautiful.
Now the doubles are the stacked come in all kinds. So you've got holly.
Oh, that's a great one. Just
Isn't that
beautiful.
pretty?
Yeah.
So again, the variety of colors, and that's what you're getting with the stacked. But you don't have to stack them. In this case, these two layers are pretty flat one upon the other. The
Right.
only thing that's been raised with foam tape are the berries. So there's just a huge variety. There's ovals, there's holly, as I showed you, silver and gold,
I'm just going to sit back.
medallions and daisies. So what we've done is we've mixed our newer products with some of our favorites, and
Right.
we've
And
gotten a
show
lot of
you
new looks.
New ways to use them. I mean, you can use the metal leaf, the shimmer sheets. You've got just different kinds of specialty paper. Use chalk. What else? Spectrum Noir pens.
Everything.
Everything.
And we want to say to you, we hope you have a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.